HR should be about caring for employees. Why? Because caring leads to loyalty, it leads to understanding each individual employee, which highlights what motivates them. But how do we do this? The biggest tool is listening to understand. And again, first listen to yourself and then listen to your employees in reference to who they are and what they're saying. But instead of being a broken record and talking about listening to understand, I wanted to go over the mindset that helps listen to understand while you're listening to understand, because it can be extremely difficult. We are distracted, we want to give input, we want to help, whatever it might be. For me, and what I've seen is curiosity. And curiosity is really important in the beginning, because instead of trying to figure out what you want to say or what they're saying, you're just curious. And a good way for me to base myself in curiosity is to ask lots of how questions. They say something. How does that look for them? How can I help, for example? Different things will help at different points. And I believe that once you get to the end, openness is going to be very important. And openness is very important because sometimes they're going to tell you something that is unexpected. And if you're not open, you're going to judge it. And we don't want to do that. We want to be very non-judgmental, but that's extremely difficult. So how do we do that? We have to have an open mindset. We have to be open. Now, the most important thing throughout this whole thing is being true to you, being authentic. If you're not authentic, it doesn't work. Most people can tell when you're being fake, even if you can't. It's just some subconscious aspect to us and how we read somebody, and you're going to be repelled by it. And so you have to be authentic. You have to be asking questions that actually interest you, that are a reflection of who you are. Once you do this, you can listen to understand. And the great thing about listening to understand is people give you buy-in without you actually doing anything with understanding. I'm not saying that should be your goal, but sometimes if you sit and you listen to an employee and they give you their thoughts, their feelings, whatever their perspective might be, and you, in your own words, tell them, and they say, yes, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. You say, great. Unfortunately, we can't do that because of this and this. It's a great idea maybe, and we've maybe even tried it in the past, but unfortunately, because of this or that factor, it's not possible. Or it could be that's a fantastic idea, but unfortunately, with the time frame we have, it's going to be impossible to implement at this point. But for the future, let's look into that. Something of that sort. Most people at that point are going to work on a different level. Why? Because they feel heard. We all just want validation and acknowledgement. And so when we give that as a manager, you get an employee who's a lot more loyal and cares. And the only way to get that is to first care. And so HR is extremely important in setting this environment where one cares. And the biggest tool is listen to understand. If you want more information, check out my book, check out my book, The Selfish Guide, and my website, coltonvita.com. Thanks for listening.